with a low around 20, and Wednesday partly sunny with a high around 38. Head to Cafe Latte's Pizza and Wine Bar, featuring a full menu of gourmet pizzas and more than 30 wines by the glass. It's casual, cozy, and seriously delicious. Off Victoria and Grand in St. Paul. Reserve or order now at cafelatte.com. That's cafelatte.com.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the studios of AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and airing on WCPTA 20, Chicago's progressive talk where facts matter. Welcome to The Gailey Show, the only daily LGBTQ radio news and talk show in the United States. I am your host, John Parker, joined by my executive producer, Jim Pounds.
Hey, all.
And no matter where you live in this country, from P-Town to Mobile to Montana to Seattle, we've got you here on The Gailey Show. Also streaming on our YouTube channel right now. If you like what we're doing, subscribe, leave us a comment, particularly leave us a comment if there are stories you want us to be covering in 2026. We want to know what those are so we can start getting on that right away. All right, speaking of 2026, we are kicking off our Olympics coverage today at the bottom of the hour. Speedskater Conor McDermott Mostowy is going to be joining us. He's competing for a spot on the U.S. Olympic speed skating team. He will be our guest. Up first, the news sucks, we know, but it's the middle of December, and one of my favorite movie genres is the holiday rom-com, especially the gay one. So I invited friend of the show, Joseph Lezza, who has been here a number of times, frequent guest, friend of the show, to talk about the rom-com. And I wanted to know from Joseph, like, what are the best ones? What is one that could be put on a Hall of Shame? So you all know Joseph Lezza as the push cart nominated writer who was once described as, quote, mid-twink by the Matt Bomer Twitter army.
Wow.
He is the author of the memoir, I'm Never Fine, Scenes and Spasms on Lost, which was a finalist for the 2024 Eric Hoffer Book Award and the 2021 Prize Americana in Prose. His work has been featured in, among others, Slate, Long Reads, and the Massachusetts Review. Also the author of a Christmas card he sent to me that set off a minor international incident in my household. Joseph, welcome back to The Gailey Show.
An international incident, my goodness.
It was
That
very,
makes you pause.
It was very well written. Let's just say that. Very evocative. Anyway, all right. So how are we going to do this? I think you have 3 for us. Are these like in a countdown, like third place, second place, first place?
No, but I mean, we could if you want. I have more. I mean, we could go into as many as you want, but I want to ensure that there's enough time to discuss all of the ins and outs of each one. But I mean, we could put them in a hierarchy of 1, 2, 3 if you want, for sure.
We don't have to. We can do however we want.
Let's just keep it freewheeling, Yeah. Why do we have to rank things? Everybody gets participation trophies for everyone.
We're at this point, we're gay. We can do whatever we want.
Absolutely.
So you start with whatever film you would like to start with.
Well, I feel like I have to start with this for a bunch of reasons, but I'm going to go for out the gate White Christmas. And I have to talk about White Christmas for several reasons.
Oh.
I consider White Christmas to be the Little Debbie tree cake of holiday movies because it is too sweet. It is overprocessed. There is lots of filler, and too much will give you a stomach ache.
Wow.
But you know what? Christmas is just not complete without it. I mean, first of all, it's like 4 hours long. It gets longer every time I watch it. There's so many incongruencies. I mean, we're supposed to believe that Bing Crosby at the start of that movie is in his like late 20s and early 30s when he's very clearly pushing like 50. But we got to do what we got to do. Even though time passes, nothing changes with Bing. He looks exactly the same. You've got Vera Ellen dancing for the gods. I mean, she is, in one scene, being, her sister act is being broken up. Her sister act of 20 plus years is being broken up, and then like literally scene change, and she's just truly just tapping her life away. Like no skin off her back. You've got Rosemary Clooney, who is, a capital M, capital S movie star with those big blue eyes, that gorgeous voice. It pains me that she did not have a bigger movie career. You got Danny Kaye doing choreography, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with the film whatsoever or the plot. It doesn't move the plot ahead in any way, shape, or form. But God, if you cut that number, people will come for you. And then you got the incomparable Mary Wicks, Sister Mary Lazarus, just like absolutely a timeless actress who, I mean, find another character actress whose career spans from like the early days of black and white I Love Lucy all the way through, 1990s movies that were big hits, Sister Act, Little Women. I mean, like Mary Wicks in everything. And, I love it for a whole bunch of reasons, but it also capitalizes on that trope that we saw in a lot of the movies from the 50s, especially, where we're going to save the barn by putting on a show. You've got this struggling lodge that's having issues with business for whatever reason. Bing invites the whole army crew up to help save the lodge by putting on just one big show. Nobody ever bothers to talk about what happens after that. How long is the money going to carry them through? I mean, we have no idea. It just ends on a big, beautiful number. I mean, there's so much to say about this. I've been squawking about it for what feels like 20 minutes now, but please, weigh in, guys. But it's got to be White Christmas for sure. Yeah.
Is there a thing happening between Bing and Danny?
I just don't
feel
know.
like there is.
I just don't know. But
Danny
Kaye,
and then
Danny Kaye's character just seems like way too obsessed with getting him paired off. Like it's like he cannot do anything until he gets Bing paired off. And then what's weird about it is that Danny Kaye's character and Vera Ellen have this
in the 50s.
I mean, perhaps.
Or the 40s. It's the 40s or the 50s?
This is the 50s.
I mean, they have Danny Kaye and Vera Ellen have like insane chemistry at the start of that movie, but then for some reason, like there's no continuity. At one point, he's like, the minute she starts to like return that affection, he's like, whoa, back up. What are you doing? I'm just like, this was all for fun. I'm just like, well, maybe he is, it does raise some questions.
They just did the drag. Danny particularly really enjoyed that drag number.
Oh, yeah, I'm just for sure. He didn't take a lot of cajoling to get into that outfit.
And the great Dean Jagger plays the general who apparently doesn't know what's going on because they put on this whole thing unbeknownst to him, right? He walks in and is completely surprised.
I love that he's the only one they age. They put a little gray on his hair. Like, that's the passage of time. Everybody else looks exactly the same. But, like, he's aged 10 years, apparently, that guy.
Okay. Well, White Christmas is our number one favorite from Joseph Lezza. What is next?
So I'm going to move on to one that I feel is somewhat controversial. And I didn't love it the first time I saw it, but over time, over years, it has really come to number among my tops, and it's The Family Stone. I really love The Family Stone for a lot of reasons. I was a little bit iffy about it when I first saw it, and I saw it in theaters. I don't even know when that movie came out, but there's just so much to love about it. I mean, you've got Diane Keaton, may she rest, first and foremost, who I don't know if you ever did this. But growing up, I feel like I had like a set of movie parents, and I always considered Diane Keaton to kind of be my movie mom. I don't know why. She just was movie mom to me. And so like I have had a deep-seated love for her for many reasons. But I mean, The Family Stone, it's a jam-packed cast. You've got obviously Sarah Jessica Parker. You've got Elizabeth Reeser, who, if Diane Keaton's my movie mom, Elizabeth is probably like my movie big sister. Like, I love her. Between Twilight and The Haunting of Hill House and this movie, like she's just somebody you want on your side, man. She's got it put together. I love the movie because it feels like a bit of a slam door farce that's kind of masquerading as a holiday movie. Everybody enters with like a loved one, and by the time the movie's over, everybody's all mixed up and they're with somebody else. You've got that fantastic aesthetic in that house. I actually saw a TikTok video at some point way back when where some girl was talking about it, and she described the style as traditional eclectic, where it's like the house feels like a warm hug. Everything feels collected, but like not curated. And I love it. I mean, like it's the house's vibes. I would absolutely want to live there. Rachel McAdams, I mean, she's peak snarky sister. and with her 8 cardigans and her NPR tote. I mean, she's just amazing. If there was a doppelganger for me in that movie, it's Rachel McAdams for sure. You've got Claire Danes, who is somehow not screaming, crying, throwing up. She's got it like really put together in this one. She's the stable sister.
Going against type.
Yeah, and you know what? Besides the fact that it is a rom-com in the sense that you have, several couples, you've got the grown-up married couple, you've got Dermot Mulroney, who's like about to propose to his girlfriend. You've got Luke Wilson, who's kind of like the aloof brother. What it really does, I think it offers a really realistic look at the kind of oil and water mixture of grief at the holidays. Like, before you lose somebody, it gives you a glimpse at the end of the movie of what happens, like that first holiday after you lose somebody. I think it's really beautiful. I think that, it was shot, parts of it were shot up and around like Madison, New Jersey, which I love. I'm going to give anything that's shot in New Jersey like an extra like 1.5. But one thing that must be discussed is what I refer to as the minority megazord, which is the couple that the writer just decided to just throw all the minorities into one couple. They're gay. One of them has a hearing disability. They're interracial, and it's just like, instead of spreading the wealth, it's like, let's put it all in just this one couple, which is you scratch your head a little bit, fine, and it does in a way lead to a really great, if not cringy, table scene that Diane Keaton definitely saves. But I love them. I love the music. I love the feel of it. I think it really does feel like a warm hug, that movie.
Okay, you're making me want to go revisit it, because the first time I watched it, I was very cool to it. I was like, there's too many good people here for me to be walking away feeling meh.
I know.
Now. But if oh my God, I can't believe I was just gonna say that. I couldn't say that. Oh boy. If it grows on you, then I will. I'll have to check it out.
For sure. I mean, like the Michael Giacchino score. It's Michael Giacchino is one of my favorite living movie composers, and so the score itself I absolutely love. It's hard to find. It's like not on Spotify anywhere. So it's wonderful if you can find it. It's just great music.
We are talking with Pushcart nominee and author of I'm Never Fine, Scenes and Spasms on Lost, Joseph Lezza, about best holiday rom-coms. Be sure to check out, we'll put a link about this, to the conversation we had with Joseph about his book, which is absolutely chef's kiss. There is an essay in there that lives in my brain rent-free forever. I'm just giving that to him for that. And there's one craft essay in there that should be taught. The one about your dad and shaving, that anybody that teaches right now, find that essay and teach it in your class. It is absolutely exquisite. We are going to have more with Joseph when we come back. You are listening to The Gailey Show on AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk.
Hi, it's Penny from Nightingale, your gathering spot near 26th and Lyndale in South Minneapolis since 2012. Come check out the fun and vibrant atmosphere. Besides our traditional favorites like the Nightingale burger and fries, did you know we also have delicious vegetarian and vegan options? Plus, we have one of the best gluten-free menus in town. And for drinks, our bar staff is always creating fun new cocktails along with a thoughtfully curated wine and beer list. Join us at Nightingale where good times and great flavors come together.
This December, Fortune's Pool Theater celebrates 20 years of creating theater in Minnesota with a free festival of Pirate Mayhem, featuring 2 irreverent R-rated musicals and repertory. Yar, the Lusty Busty Pirate Musical, and the world premiere, Have Yourself a Lusty Busty Xmas. 3 powerhouse women playing 20 roles, a live orchestra, hilarious songs, and sword fights. Don't miss the comic madness, closing December 21st at the Hive Collaborative in St. Paul. Tickets are free as our gift to you. Reserve at fortunespooltheater.org.
Across this country, LGBTQ rights are under threat. This is a struggle that the LGBTQ community knows all too well. Since 1987, Outfront Minnesota has been fighting for LGBTQ rights and protections here at home, and this work is needed now more than ever. Hard-fought wins here in the state of Minnesota are at risk. From the ban on the harmful practice of conversion therapy that passed in 2023 to transgender protection secured in our state Human Rights Act in 1993, and even national recognition of our same-sex marriage protections that we secured in 2013 are at risk. Outfront Minnesota has helped Minnesota become a national leader in LGBTQ rights, and they will hold the line to make sure we don't lose what we've gained. But they need you. Now is the time to step up and support Outfront Minnesota and LGBTQ rights here in our state. Outfront Minnesota needs your financial support today to strengthen LGBTQ protections at home, at school, and at the state capitol. Learn more and make your gift at outfront.org/give. That's outfront.org/give.
Some versions of A Christmas Carol are hot toddies, sweet and cozy. Open Eye Theater's holiday tradition, Scrooge in Rouge, it's a Boilermaker, a raucous Victorian vaudeville-style musical that spikes your holiday with camp and chaos. Scrooge in Rouge is backed by audience demand for the third year in a row. Celebrate the holidays with Open Eye Theater, now through December 28th. Bring your friends, bring your festive spirit, and leave your figgy pudding at home. Christmas can be a drag in the best way. Tickets at openeyetheater.org.
Minnesotans age 65 plus might qualify for Health Partners Minnesota Senior Health Options. The easy all-in-one plan includes personal support, coverage for medical, prescription drugs, and dental, plus many extra benefits. Eligibility information is available at healthpartners.com/oneplan. Health Partners is a health plan that contracts with both Medicare and the Minnesota Medical Assistance Medicaid program to provide benefits of both programs to enrollees. Enrollment in Health Partners depends on contract renewal.
Welcome back to the Gailey Show. I am John Parker. We're coming up on the bottom of the hour in studio with my executive producer, Jim Pounds. It is December, and we are taking a break today from the headlines because I just can't take it anymore, y'all. And so we brought back friend of the show, Joseph Lezza, who is here talking about his list of top holiday rom-coms. Before the break, he was sharing White Christmas and The Family Stone. Joseph, what is number 3?
So I'm going to skip. There are 2 that I want to talk about, but because of time, I'm just going to call them out by name. I'm going to call out The Holiday, which just always deserves to be part of anybody's rotation. Yeah, if only for Kate Winslet's Cottage in Surrey and the Hans Zimmer score, but it's just wonderful. I can't not call out a Nancy Meyers, especially a Nancy Meyers Kitchen must be acknowledged at all times. Obviously, Love Actually does feel like low-hanging fruit, but one that I really, really, really want to talk about that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about enough is Last Holiday. That is a rom-com in the sense that there is a love story between Queen Latifah and LL Cool J, but it is sort of like not even a B plot. It's like the C plot. This is really a movie that is about self-love. Like this is a movie about realizing, like living in the here and now, like realizing the life that you could have led, that you should have led, and the sort of empowerment that you get when you get a pretty a terminal diagnosis that spoiler alert turns out to be an incorrect diagnosis, but it opens her eyes to all of these things that she could have, would have, should have done. And so she just decides that, in her remaining weeks, whatever, she's going to blow all her money on this beautiful vacation. She's just going to like take a bite out of life. Everybody who's she comes across in the movie, like she touches in a way, she somehow makes their life better. It's a movie about self-love. There's comedy, it's about, it's just really about realizations and just living in the now, which I feel like we could all, more than ever, it's about living in the now because we don't know what the future holds. But it's just, I don't hear people talking about this movie enough, and I just think it's a load of laughs. It's just great, and I think it's got a great message and a great leading performance by Queen Latifah. So must be spoken about for sure.
Must be spoken about. All right. I was wondering if Christmas in Connecticut, The Bishop's Wife, or While You Were Sleeping were going to make your top 3.
I've never considered While You Were Sleeping a Christmas movie. It didn't even occur to me. But I guess it could be.
What? Christmas is the whole plot.
I guess it is. I just never Wow. Okay.
It's
Well,
literally her
what can I
working on
say?
Christmas.
It's
sets
you
up
know
the
what?
whole setup
Listen,
of the movie.
I don't know. I get caught in the whole like living in a lie thing. Christmas is just sort of like in the background. I'm sure I understand what you're saying. Like that's my bad for not thinking about that
No,
one. But
those three are my favorite. I have must watches every year.
oh,
But I am
definitely.
curious then. Wall of Shame.
There's a couple.
Oh.
We must mention Holiday Inn. I didn't realize until I watched White Christmas, I didn't realize that White Christmas, the movie, is not where the song White Christmas first premiered. It first premiered in a movie called Holiday Inn.
Right.
And I, years ago, I sought it out. I was just like, oh, how come I've never seen this film? And, it's another Bing Crosby, Fred Astaire. It's a great film. Right up until you get to the blackface number. And then you say, no wonder why this movie isn't in everybody's Christmas rotation, because it's incredibly racially insensitive. It's bad. It's hard to watch. I understand it's a product of its time, but it definitely has been relegated to the back of the closet where it belongs. So it's a pass for me on Holiday Inn, without a doubt.
Yeah, agreed.
Just bad news.
Like an
and
emotion.
then I can't even. I was so shocked when I saw it come on screen that I immediately turned it off. I was like, I'm not even going to finish this film. So we'll just say, everyone keep that one firmly out of your Christmas rotation. Doesn't belong there. Maybe if you got a copy, burn it. And then I'm gonna go to another one for the Hall of Shame is Happiest Season, which was a Searchlight film that like lives in like the depths of Hulu now. It's got a great cast. I mean, it's Kristen Stewart, Dan Levy, Mary Steenburgen, Mackenzie Davis, Aubrey Plaza, Victor Garber. But it is just, I have tried to like that film.
Really?
Unfortunately, I mean, like, there's just so much wrong with it. It's like, if you haven't seen it, Kristen Stewart is in a relationship with Mackenzie Davis. Mackenzie Davis takes her home to visit her family. Of course, Mackenzie Davis's family doesn't know that she's gay, and so she makes Kristen Stewart pretend that she's like her friend or whatever. Mackenzie Davis spends the entire film being the absolute worst, most unlikable character, and you spend the entire movie wondering, Kristen Stewart, what are you doing? Why are you going through this for this horrible person? And there's one scene at a bar where like Kristen Stewart and Aubrey Plaza are sitting down. Aubrey Plaza is like Mackenzie Davis's ex, and like the two of them have more chemistry in like that 10-minute scene than her and Mackenzie Davis do have the whole film. And I just keep sitting there going, run away, you two, get out of this film, get in the car, and just get out of Dodge, because it is just bad. It is just no. Sorry. It's a no for me.
Yeah, that's a no. Okay. No, I love this.
Try really hard.
I love this. Thank you I needed this conversation. So thank you. Brightening our week in a week that's really been awful. Okay. So we've got a couple minutes left. Is there like an honorable mention that you'd like to put out there? Not for the Wall of Shame, for the good ones.
Not for the Wall of Shame. Honorable mention. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna. I only watched this film yesterday. It doesn't belong in anybody's rotation really, but I was looking for some Christmas filler, and I happened to put on Falling for Christmas, which was like that Lindsay Lohan. Like it was billed as like Lindsay Lohan's big comeback to acting that she did for Netflix a couple of years ago, and it's hilarious because like nobody's trying to act in this film. It's got the flimsiest plot ever. It's like part Overboard, part oh God, what did I say to my friend? It was like part Overboard, part part White Christmas, I guess, because it's like, you've got a hotel heiress who bangs her head, forgets who she is taken in by this like friendly lodge owner. Obviously the lodge is struggling, so they've got to put on a show, but instead of a show, it's a fundraiser to save the lodge. So truly the set looks like it was made out of cardboard. Like it was just everybody's doing their best, but nobody's trying real hard. But you know what? If you need some solid Christmas filler, just throw it on. There's a heck of a lot worse out there.
I'm surprised While You Were Sleeping hasn't made it into this conversation. No, not While You're Sleeping.
Well, you just mentioned earlier.
No. You've Got Mail.
You know what? This again, I know that there are scenes at Christmas, but You've Got Mail is more in my like fall Thanksgiving rotation. Like it feels more fall to me, and there is a dearth of Thanksgiving movies outside of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Like we need more Thanksgiving films, so I just make that an honorary Thanksgiving.
All right. Thank you, Joseph Lezza, Pushcart nominee and author of I'm Never Fine, Scenes and Spasms on Lost. We've got links to his work and website in our show notes. I'm sure we're going to have you back soon, Joseph.
Yes, thank you.
All right, stay tuned. We begin our Olympics coverage after when we come back with speedskater Conor McDermott Mostowy. You're listening to The Gaily Show.
Hi, Minnesota. Stephanie Miller here. Join me every weekday morning.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Joseph. We'll
Listen,
talk soon.
Was the Holiday Inn thing weird? I felt like I had to say it. Like it's in there.
Oh,
It's,
no,
you
yeah.
can't ignore it.
Yes.
Okay.
It was good. We need to.
Okay. All right. Just had to check, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me as always.
Yeah, we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Bye. Connor, hello.
Hi, Connor.
Hi.
I'm John, host of the show. It's really great to meet you. Thank you for taking the time.
Oh, no problem.
And this is Jim, executive producer, who you've been communicating
Hi,
with.
Connor.
Hi.
Okay, so this is still a hot mic on YouTube, so that's still everyone can hear what we're doing there. But I just want to let you know that we're going to switch back over to the commercial feed here in a second. Now that we know that your camera and mic are working, so you'll hear that in your earbuds there. Do you see on the right hand side of your screen the private chat?
Yep.
Okay, there I'll put in the time cues so you know how much time is left in the commercial break, so you're not just surprised when we start talking.
Sweet.
All right.
Is that the little part that says like you're in the show? There's also another chat.
Oh. No, yeah, no, ignore the comments.
Okay.
We want to be in private chat. Yeah. Cool. All right. Any questions for us?
No. Should be good to go.
Cool. We've got just about 2.5 minutes before we start the segment.
Awesome.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, this is Ryan, owner of Snap Construction. It's been great working with so many of the passionate AM 950 listeners over the years. We have realized how important AM 950 is to the community. I want to see AM 950 continue to grow and continue to thrive into the future. To help continue to grow, Snap Construction will be putting up proceeds to assist the station in marketing on social media. Snap Construction encourages you to do your part by liking and sharing the content on AM 950 social media platforms.
This is Chad, owner of AM 950. Ryan has always told me the best time to get work done is during the colder months of the year because demand is much lower. He is backing that up again by offering 30% off labor on windows and siding from now until the end of December. Call Snap Construction now to get 30% off labor on windows and siding. As always, Snap Construction stands by their work with a lifetime craftsmanship warranty. Trust the company AM 950 trusts Snap Construction, arguably the most well-reviewed roofing, siding, and window contractor in the metro area. Get a free estimate by calling 612-333-SNAP or find them online at snapconstruction.com. Financing options available.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for partly sunny skies today with a high near 40, tonight partly cloudy with a low around 20, and Wednesday partly sunny with a high around 38. We're asking you to stand with us in this critical moment. Without your support, AM 950 is at serious risk of disappearing. A one-time or sustaining donation keeps your progressive voice on the airwaves. You'll also receive a 2026 AM 950 calendar as a thanks. Find more details at am950radio.com. You're listening to AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Coming to you from the studios of AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and airing on WCPTA 20, Chicago's progressive talk where facts matter. Welcome back to The Gaily Show. I am John Parker. We are 33 minutes after the hour. My executive producer, Jim Pounds, joins me in studio. If you like what we're doing on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and leave a comment for us. We're asking folks to leave comments about what you'd like to see The Gaily Show cover in 2026 so that we can get started on mapping that out and how we'll do that coming up here as we get to January 1st. We're kicking off, speaking of 2026, our Olympics coverage today. Joining us is out speed skater Conor McDermott Mostowy. Earlier this year, he won gold in a team sprint World Cup race in Poland. This fall, he won silver and bronze medals at the U.S. Championships and set a personal best record of 1:44.69 in the 1500 meter. He is competing for a spot on Team USA for Milano Cortina in February. Conor, welcome to the Gailey Show.
Thanks so much for having me.
Okay, so we're mid-December right now. The Olympics start in February. Walk us through this time period for you. Like, what does this look like in between now and U.S. Championships, like the trials of who's going to make it? Like, what does training and competing look like now between now and February?
I would say most of the work is already done. Like, we have in 3 weeks, Olympic trials will be over, and we just got back from Europe yesterday. So we're kind of just in like this little in-between phase over the holidays where the goal is kind of just to like touch up little things but like you're not really getting any big training in right now.
Okay. All right. And then when do you how does selection happen then for the team?
Yeah, so that happened in Milwaukee on January 2nd through 5th at Olympic trials. We just finished the first 4 World Cups of the year, which are how we earned Team USA spots at the Olympics.
Okay.
I mean, we did an excellent job at that as a team. And so now in January, we're going to have the trials to decide who actually gets to fill those spots.
How many spots does the U.S. have? Or is it not decided that way?
It's not officially out yet, but I believe we'll have 8 men and 7 or 8 men and 6 or 7 women's spots, but we're still waiting to get the official numbers from the ISU.
Do you worry about that? Sounds like you're guaranteed to be in, but does it not work? Is there uncertainty to be had?
I mean, there's always uncertainty. I thought I was a shoo-in last Olympics and ended up getting really sick right before the Olympic trials and finished 1 spot off the team. So nothing is ever guaranteed, but I'm feeling pretty good this year about it. And
good.
Main focus is like don't get sick between now and Olympic trials in 2 weeks.
You just stay in bed until stay there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try not to do too much, but I think I might go a little crazy if I do that.
And for our listeners and viewers, which events will you be competing in?
At Olympic trials, I'll probably compete in all the sprint events, which are the 500, the 1,000 meter, and the 1,500 meter. But I would say like the main focus is probably the 1,000 and 1,500.
Got it. And so that would be solo and team?
No, those are both individual events.
Okay.
At the Olympics, there is no team sprint. So the events I medaled in that we won last year, and I just got a silver in the Netherlands, is not yet an Olympic event.
Congratulations.
Yeah, wish. But there is another team event, the Team Pursuit, that I've skated before, so I'll probably at least be an alternate for that. The 3 guys who've been skating it this year are absolutely amazing. I think they've won the last 6 Team Pursuits over the last 2 years.
Wow.
So it's hard to break in when we're on such a hard or good winning streak right now.
Right.
So, but at least I'll be there to support it in case something were to happen.
Right. So a few years ago, out figure skater Adam Rippon was pretty forthright about the costs, the financial costs of figure skating. And he was talking about how he was like living in his coach's basement and stealing apples from his gym direct quote, and even having his car repossessed until his coach like stepped in and said, "No, I'll help you so you can keep your car." Last month, you were in West Hollywood at the Out Athlete Fund event, which raised just about $16,000 to help you with training and travel costs. Can you share with us that financial barrier that comes up for World Cup and Olympic athletes like yourself, who, despite being literally the top athletes in the world in your sport, are facing?
Yeah, I think that's a very common misconception about Olympic sports. Is I think that people assume that like other professional sports, that there's like lucrative contracts that come along with that, and that is not even remotely close to the case.
Yeah.
There is no like minimum that you can get that you're like paid to be on Team USA.
Right.
So yeah, for most people, there's obviously like the exceptions, like the Simone Bileses, the
Right.
um, like the Michaela Schifrins, whatever, who are obviously killing it, but also and racking up tons and tons of money along the way.
Right.
But for almost everybody else, yeah, you get paid almost nothing to be a part of Team USA. And so there's a significant financial barrier both for like getting into the sports because they're not cheap sports to begin with, but also just like staying with them over the years and getting to the Olympic level.
Right.
Wow.
Well, that's why I want to make sure people, I think you had a fundraiser in Chicago too, but I want our listeners to support what you're doing and
Yes.
give this young man the, encouragement that he deserves and all that. So we want to make sure that we give is it your GoFundMe page? Is that the best place for people to make a contribution, or what do you suggest?
Yeah, that's probably the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that's open right now.
Okay.
We are talking with speed skater Conor McDermott Mostowy, who is competing for a spot on Team USA at the 2026 Olympics in Milano Cortina. You had as I was reading your story, you had a very interesting coming out story. I think we're used to, like heated rivalry right now on HBO Max, right? Where these athletes are deeply closeted and they can't come out and it'll end their careers and everything has to be clandestine, whatever. If you've seen the series, you've seen the series. As I was reading more about your story, though, it was really interesting to me how you were kind of just out to friends and families and other speed skaters, if I have those details correctly. And then you sort of went more public in 2021 after a couple of high profile victories. So I'm curious then, since then, what has been your experience training and competing as an elite athlete across the world in your sport?
Yeah, I would say like in terms of training, competing, and also being out, being gay, doesn't really have that much effect on my like training and competing day to day. I think I would like to hope that like the heated rivalry, like having to be super closeted to shield your career, is a thing of the past. It's definitely not, considering that there are no openly gay like hockey players to pull from heated rivalry currently.
Right.
But yeah, in the world of speed skating, it has not been that much of a barrier. I think that there is more latitude in like individual sports like speed skating, where there isn't like, not that there is a team culture, but like your performance and the performance of everyone else is not reliant on like a team
Right.
so much.
Right.
So I think that takes a little bit of the pressure away.
Is it
And
kind
there
of
have also sorry.
No, I was going to say, is it a lonely sport? I sometimes watch you guys getting ready before, and I could just see people's minds, focusing on what they need to do. Is it kind of a lonely sport because it's not a team and there's really nobody to encourage you, is there, when you're just kind of in your own head? Is that accurate?
I mean, yes and no. I think I'm someone who enjoys a individual sport. So I don't mind it, but like it's very hard to be an amazing speed skater training by yourself. So you are part of a team. And I would say the US team has a very good culture on it. We're pretty encouraging to our teammates. We cheer each other on all the time in practice, which I know is not a thing in every country's like teams.
Yeah.
So I think that like we have like a really good balance of team and individual sport, but yeah, I mean, it definitely can be like a little lonely sometimes, but I don't know. I feel like I kind of thrive in that. I like having control over my results, and like if I don't do well, there's no one to point a finger at except for myself.
Right.
I'm kind of curious. So, what does training look like for you? Like when you're in the training mode, like what is that? I mean, are you just constantly like just going round and round the track? Like there's got to be like weights involved. Like talk to me about what that training looks like to get to where you're at today.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially a full-time job. We train about like 40 hours a week.
Oh wow.
And there's a serious mixture of stuff. Like we're not just skating all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do lift several times a week. We do a lot of aerobics on a bike.
Okay.
Actually, right before this, I was on the bike for a little bit. But so yeah, there's like a good mixture. And then in the summer, we don't have ice typically. Long track ovals are 400 meters. It's a massive amount of ice,
Oh.
and they're extraordinarily expensive to keep running.
Hmm.
So they typically take the ice out over the summer, and so we have to train using other modalities.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so like what are the other modalities? Roller skates?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of speed skaters, especially in long track, come over from inline racing. So we do roller skating. We'll do short track speed skating, because like that can just be done at any hockey rink. So those rinks are usually open all year round. A lot more biking in the summer. Like, you can easily have a week with 10 hours of biking.
Yeah. I am curious, and I'm not going to jinx anything. I don't want to jinx anything, but knowing that you just missed out on the previous Winter Olympics, what would it mean to you to make this year's team?
Yeah, I feel like it would be like redemption. I almost stepped away from the sport after the last Olympics because it was so devastating to miss those games.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I still love speed skating, and like fuck, it's an unfinished business. So going with it, and I've been lucky enough to get a lot better than I was then. So hopefully this time around history will not repeat itself.
Right. Well, you're clearly, it seems like, I mean, from I don't know, like speed skating, when I keep, look at your record and you're like winning and winning and winning, I'm like, okay, or medaling, I'm like, okay, personal best. Here you go. Here you go. I am curious about advice that you would have for specifically young queer speed skaters or skaters that are like, I want to join the sport, but what would that mean? What advice would you give to them?
I would say if you're looking to join a sport, it's a great sport to join. It's a really accepting and supportive community. Yeah, I say like it's definitely a sport that you can like be yourself in, and there have been not the first out speed skater. I think I'm the first out male speed skater.
Okay.
I'm the only one currently on like the World Cup circuit, but there've been a lot of out women, including like my teammate Brittany Bowe, who is.
Yep.
If I could have 1/10 as successful as her, I would be extraordinarily happy with my career. She's like world record holder, 6-time world champion, just absolutely incredible.
Wow.
So there's a lot of very publicly facing out people in speed skating that you can look to for inspiration.
Well, that is great to hear that. We will put links in our show notes and on our website for how folks can support you. Obviously, good luck. We will be rooting for you between now and the first week of January. Good luck, Connor. We'll be watching.
Thank you so much.
All right, folks. We are going to take a quick break here. Still lots to get to on the Gailey Show on AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and WCPT 820 Chicago's Progressive Talk. See you on the flip side of this quick break.
Hi, this is Frank Brown of Minuteman Press Uptown with a question for our listeners. How important are business values to you? When you need high-quality digital print, it matters who you work with. You see, Minuteman...
Never mind. He switched out.
I thought he was great. I wanted to talk to him another segment.
Yeah, he logged
want to contribute to the community, and we are active in local issues. We've been in the streets standing up for racial, social, and economic justice. At Minuteman Uptown, our mission is to connect all communities through technology-driven print solutions. An example of that mission is when I moved Minuteman Uptown to North Minneapolis. We're invested in this local community, and we help small businesses and local organizations throughout the Twin Cities reach their audiences. Reach out to Minuteman Uptown and partner with a printer that shares your values. Call us today at 612-870-0777 or visit us at mpuptown.com. That's mpuptown.com.
Greg Bakken here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville.
Hi, I'm Mary T. Caring for others runs deep in my family. My grandmother, Rosa, was a nurse who cared for people in their homes more than a century ago. Inspired by her compassion, my mother, Margaret, and I founded the Mary T. family of companies nearly 50 years ago. Today, we continue that legacy across Minnesota, Wisconsin, Maryland, and Arizona, providing senior living, assisted living with memory care, home health, hospice care, rental housing, and support for people with disabilities. Each service is personal, creative, and focuses on the unique needs of those we serve. We also believe in joy and community, which is why we opened Crooner Supper Club in Fridley, a place to celebrate life with music, laughter, and connection. At Mary T., we're proud to be a Minnesota family company rooted in compassion, inclusion, and respect, and proud supporters of AM 950 and the values that this station represents. Visit marytinc.com to learn more.
Congratulations to Mary T., named one of the most admired CEOs of 2026 by the Minneapolis-St. Paul Business Journal. Now on view at the Minneapolis Institute of Art. Step into the splendor of Cambodia's Khmer Empire with Royal Bronzes, Cambodian Art of the Divine. This groundbreaking exhibition showcases the empire's exquisite bronze artistry with statues, ritual objects, and artifacts that reveal a fascinating blend of mystery, devotion, and royal power. See the enduring legacy of Cambodia's sacred metallurgical traditions as you witness over 200 objects, including a colossal sculpture of the Hindu god Vishnu. Tickets and information at artsmia.org.
Welcome back to the Gailey Show. We are coming up on the top of the hour. I am John Parker, joined by Jim Pounds, executive producer here in the studio. I'm really grateful to Connor for joining us here today. We are going to continue reaching out to other members of or potential members of Team USA. Wow, I can talk. It's only Tuesday, folks. So stay tuned for that as we get closer to Milano Cortina. We'll also be reaching out to a couple of other journalists as well to get some analysis of the games, because this is the first time that we've been daily as a program for an Olympiad. So we're really looking forward to diving into that coverage.
Can I just say, I thought of this when I first heard his story. It's one thing to be an aspiring Olympian, and it's something else to be a gay person in that situation. But then to add this layer of which nobody in the sport wants to talk about, the financial challenges, I think it is important for us as a community to stand behind this young man. I just think I asked him about whether it was lonely or not, because I felt that it must be lonely to put in all of that work and think, oh my gosh, how am I going to afford to do all this travel and pay for this coach or whatever, or training or whatever, you get time, ice time, all that stuff. You know, it's expensive. And usually the athletes that are successful from this country are the wealthy people from wealthy families. It's a very elitist. The Olympics is very elitist, in my opinion. So here's a young man who's not in that situation, who's just trying to do it on his own, you know, by his bootstraps. And I feel like it's our responsibility to support him. I want us to support him. So please donate whatever you can. I want him to feel the love from our audience.
For For sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So I think the big news happening today in the political world is the White House Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles, interview in Vanity Fair, or rather, it's sort of a vignette of interviews over the past year or so. And she gave a pretty forthright assessment of a variety of people, including calling the vice president a calculating conspiracy theorist. She said that Trump has an alcoholic's personality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Check.
Interestingly, when you are looking at the responses from the White House, even though they're very angry about the piece, they're not actually disputing any of the details
Right. How dare she?
in it.
Right.
So yeah.
How dare she tell the truth?
Yeah, but she even, I mean, she did say that they're going to continue illegal actions of bombing alleged boats in the waters of the coast of Venezuela until, quote, the country's leader, Nicolas Maduro, quote unquote, cries uncle. So we're just going to keep committing war crimes.
Yeah. Using our tax dollars
But
to
she
commit
really
murder.
went after Pam Bondi for how she handled the Jeffrey Epstein case. She said that all of the hurt and pain from the tariffs was unexpected. Like, okay.
But none of them understand
Wow.
economics. It must have come as a shock to them because none of them have studied economics.
Yeah, but everybody is pretty shocked right now. That is the big political news of the day. But you know, when you read the actual piece, which I've gone through about 3/4 of it, she's standing behind her man. So even though she's giving some pretty unvarnished looks at him, but we saw this too during the first administration, where you had people leaving there and criticizing everybody that was working in the White House, and yet here we are still dealing with all of this.
Can we mention one thing about the drugs out of South America? Those people that know the sort of routes that people tend to take, those drugs are going to Europe. They go from South America into the Caribbean and then onto Europe. That is not the route for the majority of drugs coming to the United States. For hardly any of the drugs coming to the United States is going that route. A lot of it
without a distinction. I don't get the point.
Yeah, because Trump blows his nose about the fact that we're saving all these American lives every time we kill people in these boats that are allegedly smuggling drugs. The drug smuggling for the United States is coming from the West,
but that's
into the Pacific. It's not coming up to the Caribbean.
But there's a crucial point that's missing there in your argument, which is allegations are not convictions. And allegations of having drug on your boat does not mean you are now subject to death.
Of course not.
So this is the problem here: is that they're executing people based off of allegations that are unsubstantiated, and then continuing to kill people who are survivors. I mean, these are
destroying evidence,
war crimes.
Yeah. But the point is, if the claim is, "Oh, we're protecting the United States from drugs," no, we're not. We're spending our tax money. If these are drug runners helping Europe with their drug problem.
Again, I don't feel like the justification is. I mean,
it's not a justification. It's a clarification that what they claim they're
like
doing is not even accurate.
A car driving down the road, I think there may be drugs in that car, so let's bomb it without actually doing an investigation. And even, and then there's like protocol. If you intercept a boat and you find the drugs, then there is legal protocol about how you're supposed to prosecute that.
Of course.
You don't just bomb people. Anyway, it's war crimes, and this is why he's bribing or extorting, rather, the International Criminal Court, because they know they're breaking international law, and they're trying not to get prosecuted for it.
And it's not just Trump; it's the admiral, it's the person that presses the button.
Oh yeah, all of them.
It's everybody, all the way down to the final fire.
All of
them. They're all culpable.
So before we go today, I want to let people know that we have a new episode of our podcast, This Queer Book Saved My Life, which is the podcast where I interview queer guests from across the rainbow about an LGBTQ book that had a life-saving impact for them. And the episode that dropped today, as it turns out, I discovered one of the world's oldest surviving novels was a queer book. And that book is the Satyricon by Petronius. And apparently this author, this guy was like the top political dog of Rome before he went back into, when he retired and then went back into private life and then was part of the court of Emperor Nero. It is a wild book when you sit there and you look at how history actually was, how we've been here forever. So you can check out that episode, the Satyricon with Neil Laird, who is our guest everywhere that you get your podcast. That is all for us today on WCPT Now. It is Democracy Now! On AM 950 Radio. It is the Matt McNeil Show. And until this time tomorrow, keep it queer, America.
Keep it queer.